Okay, so let's talk about patience, or maybe the lack of it these days. It feels like everything has to be instant, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We want it now. Groceries, gadgets, you name it.
Exactly. And that's where quick commerce or Q-commerce comes in. It's basically engineered for that instant gratification itch.
Mm-hmm. Delivery in, what, under an hour? Sometimes much faster.
Right, 10, 15 minutes sometimes. But here's a twist we're diving into today. What if that super fast delivery was for furniture?
Furniture. Like IKEA furniture.
Precisely.
Yeah.
IKEA India, the giant known for flat packs, Allen keys, maybe a few moments of assembly frustration.
Or Triumph.
Or triumph, yes. They're seriously looking at jumping into this lightning-fast delivery game. We heard hints about this back on June 17th, 2025. Adosh Sharma, their country commercial manager in India, basically signaled they're exploring it.
Wow. Okay. That's unexpected, maybe.
A little, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you think about their usual model. But let's
Yeah.
set the stage. Quick commerce, think of it as, I don't know, e-commerce on steroids.
Good way to put it. The love child of online shopping and pure impatience.
Huh, exactly. And in India, this market is just enormous. We're talking a Bain& and Company report from 2025 put it at like $6-7 billion
Already. That's massive.
already. And apparently it made up over two-thirds of all e-grocery orders back in 2024. Plus, it's projected to grow, get this, 40% annually by 2030.
40%. Good grief. That's not growth. That's an explosion.
Totally. You see the big players everywhere, Blinkit, Zepto, Swiggy, Instamart.
Yeah.
They're leading this charge.
And it makes sense why it's taken off so dramatically in India. You've got this perfect mix of factors. Really dense cities, for one.
Right, it makes delivery routes shorter, more efficient.
Exactly. Then you factor in, well, relatively lower labor costs and this incredible, almost wizard-like capability for last-mile delivery. These guys know how to get things places fast.
They really do. It's impressive.
And it taps right into that desire, especially in the big cities like Bengaluru, Delhi, Mumbai. People want everything now. It's like quick commerce. Is this genie just popping up with your order in minutes?
A genie delivering groceries instead of wishes.
Yeah.
I like it. But okay, that brings us to the core of our deep dive today. Can IKEA actually do this? Can they deliver furniture, even small stuff, at that kind of speed?
Yeah, and crucially, can they do it without breaking their whole model? Affordability, sustainability. That's IKEA's DNA.
And let's not forget the unique products themselves. Bulky boxes, assembly required. It's not exactly like delivering a pint of ice cream, is it?
Not even close.
So let's pack this. IKEA's been in India for a bit now, right? Since 2018, first store in Hyderabad.
Yep, built a big following. People love the affordable designs, the whole experience, even the self-assembly adventure.
Adventure is one word for it. But this quick commerce idea, it came from Adosh Sharma in New Delhi, June 17th, 2025. He actually said, quote, "We see potential in quick commerce."
So not just a vague interest, a clear signal.
Seems like it. A real statement of intent.
Okay, so if we're reading the tea leaves, what does this likely mean in practice? They're not going to be airdropping sofas in 15 minutes, surely.
Uh-huh. Probably not. No, the thinking seems to be focusing on smaller, high-demand stuff.
Right, like lamps, cushions, maybe those little storage boxes everyone suddenly needs.
Exactly. Things you might buy on impulse or realize you need right away. Stuff that can fit into a quicker delivery model. The big items, the wardrobes, the beds. They'll likely stick to the usual longer delivery schedules.
That makes sense. It aligns with how people live in cities now, Convenience is absolutely king. Why drive to a massive IKEA store if you just need a bedside lamp? Tapping an app is just easier.
It really is. And the timing for IKEA seems, well, pretty smart. India's e-commerce scene is just red hot. Online spending keeps hitting records.
And didn't you say quick commerce platforms already grabbed like 10% of e-retail spending in 2024?
Yep, that's the number. And it's climbing.
And IKEA's already pretty strong online, aren't they? I remember reading their online sales were already, 30% of their India revenue?
That's right, 30%. And growing steadily since they launched e-commerce there. Pavana Jiswal, who heads up their e-commerce in India, even predicted it could hit 40% soon.
So they have a solid digital base to build on. This isn't starting from scratch.
Not at all. Plus, think about their recent expansion, especially into North India, Delhi NCR specifically.
Right, that's the country's biggest market for home furnishings, isn't it?
It is. They launched online deliveries there March 1st, 2025. Covered places like Agra, Chandigarh, Lucknow. And apparently the response was really strong.
Okay, connecting the dots.
And then there's the muscle behind it. They opened that huge new customer distribution center in Gurugram. like 1.8 lakh square feet.
180,000 square feet. Yeah, that's serious logistics capability. That gives them the backbone for something like quick commerce.
It really does. And think about this from the customer side, from your perspective. IKEA's own research, their 2024 Life at Home report, found that 56% of Indians plan to move or renovate in the next 2 years.
56%. That's a
Yeah.
huge demand waiting to happen.
Exactly. So quick commerce lets IKEA tap directly into that immediate need. You decide you need new curtains today or a small coffee table now, you don't have to plan a whole trip out to the store.
It makes the barrier to purchase much lower for those smaller, more immediate needs.
Definitely. But okay, let's pivot to the challenges, because this is not going to be easy. Applying quick commerce to furniture sounds like, well, a logistical headache waiting to happen.
Understatement of the year, maybe? Getting groceries delivered fast is one thing. Delivering a flat-pack Billy bookcase without damage, without losing parts, in 30 minutes, that's a different beast entirely.
Right. So what are the big hurdles?
Okay, first up, infrastructure overload. Quick commerce runs on these dark stores, right? Small urban warehouses.
Mm-hmm. Optimized for speed.
Exactly. But they're usually stocked with groceries, maybe some electronics. How do you possibly stock IKEA's range over 7,000 items in those small spaces?
Yeah.
Even with their big Gurugram center, scaling that down for hyper-local, super fast fulfillment is a massive challenge. Think about the competition, too, like Amazon launching their Now service in Bengaluru recently. The bar is high.
Okay, infrastructure. What else?
The cost crunch. Speed costs money. Simple as that. Quick delivery services always have higher fees. You mentioned Blinkit earlier. Their fees can be like 20% higher.
Yeah.
So how does IKEA, the brand built on being affordable, offer this premium speed service without jacking up prices? That's a fundamental conflict with their brand identity. People expect value from IKEA.
That's a really tricky one. They risk alienating their core customers if prices jump too much for speed.
Precisely. Then there's the sheer competition chaos. This space is crowded. You've got Blinkit, Zepto, Swiggy, Instamart, Amazon Now, Flipkart Minutes, Big Baskets, BB Now. It's a battlefield.
And they deliver everything, not just furniture.
Exactly. IKEA isn't just competing with other furniture places here. They're competing with platforms that deliver literally anything you can think of fast. That's intense pressure.
Wow. Yeah, crowded is right.
And finally, let's talk sustainability snags. IKEA talks a big game about being green. And they do a lot, 80% EV deliveries in India, recycled materials.
Right, it's core to their image.
But quick commerce inherently means more vehicles, more trips, potentially more packaging, more resources zipping around cities constantly. Can they maintain that eco-friendly stance while pushing for maximum speed? It's a tough balancing act.
That's a really good point. The pressure for speed could conflict with the pressure to be green.
It absolutely could.
And okay, one more challenge, maybe slightly tongue-in-cheek, but real. The assembly conundrum.
Ah, yes. The final boss.
Exactly. So the quick commerce bike drops off your flat pack shelf in record time. Great. But who puts it together? Does the instant gratification wear off when you're staring at confusing instructions and a bag full of screws?
Maybe they need to bundle a quick response therapist with every order. Or an AI assembly assistant.
Maybe. It adds another layer of potential friction right after the speedy delivery. Something they'll have to consider in the customer experience.
Definitely. But, stepping back, this quick commerce idea isn't happening in a vacuum. It fits into IKEA's wider India strategy.
Right. They've been playing the long game there.
Absolutely. Remember that huge 10,500 crore investment commitment over 10 years? They've got the big stores, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, Bengaluru, and more coming Gurugram in 2026, Noida in 2028. Adosh Sharma, the guy hinting at quick commerce, he's been heading up their expansion since 2022.
So this is part of a bigger plan.
It has to be. It's all about their omni-channel approach, making online and physical stores work together seamlessly. Pavana Jaiswal put it perfectly. We want IKEA to be either 30 minutes or one click away.
30 minutes or one click. That sums it up.
And it's working for them. Their online sales grew 20% in 2024, way faster than the overall market's 11%. So the integrated strategy is paying off.
And you can totally see how quick commerce fits that one click away and maybe even edges towards the 30 minutes away for certain items, especially impulse buys.
Exactly. Suddenly need new cushions, short on cutlery for dinner, tap, tap, delivered. It removes that friction of a planned trip.
And they're smart about local tastes too, right? Like in Delhi, offering specific outdoor stuff for balconies, more colorful mix and match options.
Yeah, they adapt. That's crucial in India. And their local sourcing helps massively, too. 33% of products sourced in India. It supports local businesses, keeps costs down. It's a smart move all around.
Okay, so let's look ahead. What does the crystal ball say? If this quick commerce thing works for IKEA, what could it look like?
Well, imagine ordering, say, a small desk or some shelves while you're having lunch,
And having them arrive before your afternoon meeting.
potentially, or needing some extra storage baskets and getting them delivered while you're tidying up. It makes home improvement much more immediate.
Okay, maybe not the Swedish meatballs in 10 minutes then.
Huh. Let's not get carried away. But seriously, what are the likely next steps? I'd bet on pilot programs first.
Makes sense. Test the waters.
Yeah, probably in cities where they have strong logistics already, like Bengaluru or Delhi NCR. Dip a toe in, learn, adapt, much like Amazon did with Now.
Okay, pilot programs, what else?
Partnerships. Building a whole quick commerce infrastructure from scratch is hugely expensive and time-consuming. Why not team up with an existing player?
Like a Blinkit or a Zepto.
Exactly. Leverage their network, their writers, their tech. It's a much faster way to get started without that massive upfront investment.
That seems very plausible.
Then there's the tech boost. IKEA has that cool AI tool, Creative, where you can visualize furniture in your room.
Oh, I've seen that. Pretty neat.
Imagine integrating that directly with quick commerce. You see it, you like it, you click buy now, and boom, it's on its way within the hour for eligible items. Seamless.
From visualization to doorstep, super fast.
And finally, they have to double down on the sustainability push. If they go into quick commerce, they need to make it visibly green. Electric bikes, minimal packaging, maybe carbon offsetting. It's non-negotiable for their brand.
Absolutely. They need to prove speed doesn't have to kill sustainability.
Got to.
But what if? What if it just doesn't work out? What if the hurdles are too high?
Well, IKEA's been around since 1943. They've seen trends come and go. Remember their iconic catalogs? They pivoted away from those. They're resilient. If quick commerce for furniture proves too difficult or costly in India right now.
They'll adapt. They'll learn. They'll try something else.
Exactly. It won't be the end of IKEA India. They'll just refocus their energy. Failure is just data for the next attempt, right?
True. So wrapping this up then, it feels like IKEA's quick commerce venture in India is, well, it's ambitious. High stakes, definitely.
Very. But maybe, just maybe, it's a calculated risk worth taking.
A market seems ready, right?
Mhm.
Urban shoppers want convenience. IKEA has the brand power, and they're building the logistical base.
The potential is there. But the challenges are real too. Pricing, logistics, those extra screws.
Ah, the extra screws. Always the extra screws.
But look, if anyone can figure out how to make quick commerce work for furniture, maybe it is the company that somehow convinced us all that building our own furniture was a good idea.
Huh, fair point. They understand their customers and how to innovate in unusual ways.
They do.
So, the final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. In a country like India, where time is increasingly valuable and convenience is becoming paramount, how could IKEA succeeding in this actually change things? How might it reshape our expectations for how we shop, not just for furniture, but for everything we bring into our homes?
It's a fascinating question. It could really shift the goalposts for retail.
It really could. So keep an eye on this space. It's definitely a developing story, and, well, it's one delivery you probably won't want to miss.